Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Asgardians and mutants alike. Welcome to another Leah Maiden gameplay video. Back with more Marvel Strike Force today, where we are going to be continuing our journey into Doom War. Now, if we go and take a look here, you can see that I have completed Doom War Chapter 3. So I'll put a link to my video that I completed the last 3 nodes of Chapter 3 with Kestrel. Had a lot of fun with that. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner and in the description down below. But that means now we move on to Doom War Chapter 4. And as you can see, for the first 3 nodes here, we're limited to Spider-Verse, New Warriors, or Hero for Hire. There's a lot of good stuff to farm in Chapter 4 here. Lots of mini uniques that you need to take people up to Gear 15. So very important to 3-star these nodes. That's what we're going to be looking to do today. We're going to forego Heroes for Hire and focus on a mixture of New Warriors and Spider-Verse. Let's go take a look. So first up, we got Deathpool, key component of the New Warriors and just an awesome tune all the way around. So I've got her up at level 75, gear tier 14, blue ISO level 1 with the striker there, and I have all the T4s on her because she is that good a tune. Really powerful. I'm looking to use her in DD4, hence all the investment there. You can see I've only got her at 4 stars and only 3 of them are red, so that puts her up at about 88,000, almost 89,000 power. I think she's going to be key to completing this. She's got a lot of assists that she can bring in, and she can also spread buffs around the enemy. Really excited to see what she can do on these nodes. Next up, we got Cloak. Now Cloak, again, New Warriors character. I've also got him at level 75 and gear 14. I don't actually have any T4s on him at the moment, and the ISO, I've not quite taken him up to blue yet. So he is on Skirmisher, and he's green 0.4, so 1.4 for the ISO there, only on the greens. It puts him at about 77,000 power, so not as powerful as Deathpool. I still think he's going to be able to do some damage though, especially because I've got him up on 4 red stars. Rounding out the New Warriors, of course, we have Dagger, Cloak and Dagger, hand in hand. She's also level 75 and gear tier 14. I have taken her up to blue ISO 2.1 on Striker right there, and she's also sitting on 4 red stars. Now she's the real damage dealer of this group, along with Deathpool as well, and you'll see that I have put this T4 on her Light Force generation, her passive ability, so that we get those extra regenerations on Mystic hero allies, the extra resistance and the defense up. I do think that is worth investing in. She's there really for the damage, but that's one way she can help buff the team. Unfortunately, that's not going to extend to the Spider-Verse allies that we bring in, but it is going to make Dagger, Cloak, and Deathpool just a little more viable, giving them a little more sustainability as we move through these nodes. And the first of our Spider-Verse tunes is Miles Morales, again level 75, gear tier 14. Again, we've got that Striker ISO on blue 0.1. Now I have him maxed out on stars, 7 stars, but only 5 red, but he's pretty powerful though, 113,000 power. Currently using him with my Web Warriors, of course, and for that reason I've got 2 T4s on him there, on his special and his ultimate. He is really geared up to use with the Web Warriors. I'm really only bringing him in, and then the next tune that I'm going to show as well, just as kind of extra backup. They're really just geared for Web Warriors. I'm just hoping they'll just add a little bit of extra punch to the New Warriors. And of course our final tune is Spidey himself, up at 131,000 power. He's by far the most powerful tune in my roster, I think, and you can see I've got him here on 7 red stars. Now I also have him up on a blue ISO Raider this time, only blue 0.1, and I've got again a couple of T4s on him on his passive and his special. Again, that's really only to get that synergy with his Spidey allies for the Web Warriors. I don't expect them to be doing too much. He's level 75 and gear 14 again, as you can see. I think they're just backup. He is a powerful tune, so hopefully he'll be able to get some hits in, but really it's going to be New Warriors who carry this. Fingers crossed. Let's hop over and see how we do. Alright, Doom War Chapter 4, node number 1. Let's go and see how we do. I am excited. Chapter 4 is an awful lot harder than Chapter 3. It's by far the hardest setup we've had so far. So this team sitting right here on 496,051 power. I like that setup. I want Deathpool in the middle, and then the two Spideys on either side. Between them, they've got a lot of dodge, and Cloak and Dagger in the background there. Yeah, we're just gonna try this out and see how we go. As I said, it's so much harder. Obviously, this is the newest chapter that they added to Doom War, and they really upped the difficulty. Okay, let's take a look at this here. Ouch. So Vulture off the bat, boom. So the problem with this node is you get blinded off the bat by Taskmaster there. So I'm going to take the speed down a little bit here, and what we're going to try and do, hopefully, is pass... Oh, so unfortunately, so Deathpool didn't get blinded, so we can't pass that over to... Bullseye. Instead, I thought hopefully we could take him out. Not quite, that's fine. So let's drop an AoE here because Cloak is not blinded, so take advantage of that. Boom, there we go. Okay, so at least we got rid of Bullseye. That's fine. So unfortunately, oh, that was a misplay there. I totally didn't realize that Miles Morales was blinded. So yeah, the way this goes, you're just going to lose a few opening moves. Oh, look at Spidey there, really doing some damage, and that assist from Deathpool. Fantastic, so we cleared the board. So unfortunately, yeah, the first time you do this node, you know, that first attack by Taskmaster is probably going to land some blind on you. Dang, I completely forgot. I'm not doing very well. I'm talking about how everyone's blinded, and then I'm forgetting that the toons I'm actually attacking with are blinded. So basically, you're going to have to deal with blind. You're going to lose some turns. The trick with that is to not do what I did, but do what I say, which is to use your basic. You don't want to waste any specials when your toon is blinded. That is unfortunate. If the blind lands on Deathpool, you can use her special ability to try and cleanse it from herself and pass it over to an enemy, which is what I was trying to do to Bullseye. It did not work this time. Well, I mean, it's not that it didn't work, she didn't get blinded, so I decided instead to use her ultimate in the hopes of taking out Bullseye, which we didn't quite do, but we did it a little while later. But once you get past that blind, if you have toons up at this kind of level, it shouldn't be that difficult, as you can see here. Boom, there we go. Tier 1, or the first node rather, in the bag. So that was doable. We definitely took damage. That didn't seem like overkill to me. We were in charge of it the whole time, but that could have been a lot messier, could also have been a lot cleaner. I think you need toons up at least at gear 13, but gear 14 makes this an awful lot easier. Let's try node number 2. But if we take a look here, actually, you can see this is one of those mini uniques that I was talking about here. Really important if you want to get some of those characters, those global characters for DD4 up to gear 15. Super important. We got to 3-star this node. And then after saying that, I didn't. One by one, my toons fell. Just as I was saying, I think you maybe could have done that first node with gear tier 13. It turned out that even gear tier 14 was not enough with this particular team to get through 4.2. I ended up completely bombing, so I had to head back to the drawing board. Let's take a look at some of the changes I had to make before I could get through node 2.4. Okay, so we're back a couple of days later, a couple of days more investment in Deathpool here. So straight off the bat, you'll see a number of things. So first of all, she's up at level 80 from 75, and I have taken her all the way up to gear 15. Very happy with that. Like I said, I'm planning on using her in DD4, so I needed to take her up anyway. I've also added another red star to her. She's still on 4-star, but now there are 4 red stars. And I've taken her up another level on her ISO. She's now blue 0.2 and sitting there on 122,125 power. Much more powerful than she was before. Hopefully this now at level 15, gear tier 15, this has got to be enough to get through this node. Cloak I have also taken up to level 80. I've also added another level to his ISO, and he is now sitting on 5 red stars. So he's a lot more powerful than he was before. I added the T4 to his passive ability just there, just trying to try and give him some extra dodge, some extra defensiveness there with Dagger. And as you can see, I've thrown a lot more gear on him. He is actually ready to move up now to gear tier 15, but I'm holding off. I want to see if I can do this with Cloak and Dagger still on gear tier 14. So I'm keeping him at gear tier 14, waiting before I put that final piece on, but he does have 5 of the 6 pieces, so he is most of the way there at 113,000 power. And Dagger, beautiful Dagger. Again, she looks like she's ready to go up to gear tier 15. She actually isn't. If I took Cloak up to gear tier 15, I'd lose some of the resources that I need to take her up to gear tier 15. So I'm close, but she is sitting on gear tier 14 with 3 pieces on her way to 15. Again, I've taken her up to blue 0.2, 2.2 on the ISO there. I think she already had 4 red stars. I don't actually remember, but I don't think I did anything with her stars there. I did add another T4 just to her basic attack there, just to try and up the power of that. And you'll see that even though I have yet to take her up to gear tier 15, I've actually taken her up to 82, level 82. So she's actually at a higher level than either of the other 2 tunes, Deathpool or Cloak. I'm hoping that that extra level will help compensate for the fact that she has least gear of everyone, and that is it. I'm not bringing the 2 Spider-Men along with me this time. We're just going to use New Warriors. Let's go see if this is enough. All right, 4.2, take 2. Let's go, just with New Warriors this time. Now what I'm doing here is I'm using the 2 Spider-Men to keep everyone spaced out. I don't want to have anyone adjacent to each other to try and limit some of those AoE effects that we might be getting from the enemy. 341,000 power for this trio. Now of course the disadvantage with only having 3 characters is that we get less offensive power and there are less targets for the enemy to spread their damage around, but it also means I have fewer people to keep alive. Remember, we're trying to 3-star this, not just complete it, but 3-star it. So I'm hoping that having 3 people I've invested in more will outweigh any extra damage that Miles and Spidey were bringing to the table here. Now, okay, this is pretty naff here because they've blinded both Cloak and Dagger off the bat. That sucks, but there we go. We got some debuffs on their Cloak right there. Oof, okay, everyone is blinded right now. This is not a great start. So basic there, didn't do anything, obviously, because our Cloak was blinded. That sucks. Dagger, again, don't want to do anything. Let's just use the basic. Boom. And then, again, Deathpool can cleanse, thankfully. So boom, there we go. Some serious damage there. Awesome. One of the Cloaks is down. So now we have a Cloak and a Dagger on the field. This is a really tough team, and our Cloak has taken some serious damage. So now he's no longer blinded. Let's try and drop an AoE. Boom. Okay, see all those extra assists we're getting from Deathpool? She really is doing some decent damage here. Okay, AoE time for Dagger as well. Boom, look at that. Clearing the board. She's such a damage dealer. Boom. And just like that, we're down to the 4 remaining tunes. Now, there's a lot of people to target here. Doctor Strange, Loki, and Cloak, but it's got to be Cloak first, I think, just because he is so powerful. Boom, bye-bye Loki. And then Deathpool taking out Cloak right there. Boom, bye-bye Doctor Strange. We have done it. Boom. Was that overkill? Maybe ever so slightly. I maybe didn't need to take everyone all the way up to gear 15. I could have done that maybe if I'd spread that gear more evenly between them, but it just goes to show you what that gear bump up, and just as importantly, taking the characters up that extra level from 75 to 80, or in Dagger's case to 82, the difference that makes. Yeah, take my power cores. You got to spend energy to make videos, right? So that was so effective. We're just going to do exactly the same thing again here and hopefully have a repeat on our hands. Now I think we get a little visitor for 4.3. I think we get a character that we get to borrow here, and I think he's going to add some serious power to our roster. Or I thought we did anyway. Maybe we got to kill someone first. Now this is really tricky, right? Because look at all these Dooms we've got. Normally I'd be going after Johnny Storm there, Human Torch, but with all these Dooms on the field, it's a different story. But at least we weren't blinded this time. Man, I really thought that we got a Doom for us. I must be confusing this with things I've read about other nodes further down the line, I guess. I mean, doesn't look like we need it anyway, right? We're kind of cleaning the floor here with them, wiping the floor. I'm so pleased I took these tunes up. So I don't know if you necessarily need to take them all the way up to gear tier 15, but I think you can see here you're not going to regret it if you do. I'm also just going to point out, and this is kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but the last 3 nodes of Doom War Chapter 4, currently the final Doom War nodes available in the game, you need Mystic characters, Mystic non-minion. And everybody on the field right now, all 3 of these new warriors have the Mystic tag. So by investing in them for the first 3 nodes of Doom War Chapter 4, you're also investing in the team you can use again for that final node. I think I definitely am. I'm probably going to add Eternals in there, but that's getting ahead of myself. We've got to complete this node first. But look at this. Look at this. We have done it. We have done it. Boom. Boom. 3 tunes to go. Too little, too late, Ghost Rider. So Dagger has definitely taken damage, but it is not enough to stop her. Boom. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Completed that node on a passive counterattack by Deathpool. Fantastic. 3 stars. Boom. That is the first 3 nodes 3-starred. I'm so happy about that. That did take an awful lot of investment, but it is so worth it. Those mini uniques that you can farm here in these first 3 nodes are really going to help you taking tunes up to gear 15. Tunes you're going to need at the gear 15 level in order to complete DD4. More about that in future videos. So for the next 3 nodes, I need hero mutants. Thinking I'm going to use Axemen, but you know what to do. You got to tune in to my next Doom War video to find out who I actually use so I can walk you through that as well. Well, there you go. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me today. If you have completed Doom War 4 or wherever you are in your Doom War journey in Marvel Strike Force, let me know down below. Always keen to hear how it's going for you, what tunes you're using. If you have any tips for tunes you used in Doom War Chapter 4, again, do let me know down below. Really happy to hear from you. If you did find this video informative or entertaining in any way, please consider giving it a like, a thumbs up down below. I really do appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And hey, while you're here, why not consider subscribing to Liam Gameplay? I drop new gameplay videos for Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes every single week, and I would love to have you along for the ride. That is all from me today. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after each other.